Guys, in my growing frustration with finding the correct spring for my Autofire issue, I thought, let's go back to the basics. And that's reduce tank pressure. So I got a couple of tanks here. I got a Tippmann 9 CI. And I got a First Strike 10 CI. We're gonna test them, test the output pressure on them, and we're gonna fire them. So first I'm gonna do the Tippmann 9 CI. This is how it came in the mail. I just pumped it up and away it went. I previously had said 825, and I am going to go out and say I have no reason to skew the results. 825 is what I tested now. Let's air it up here. Just gotta ditch. Sorry, I left my tester charged. There we go. So I just filled these tanks. It says it's under 3. I think this gauge is a little bit off. I used my gauge on my pump. It has a preset on off. So it just pumps them to the same based on its setting. So what this gauge says not necessarily is accurate, but so as you can see right now, it's cold. It's cold as balls in here. I mean, it crept a little bit there, but see, I've been calling this 825. Now it's 800. Did it break in? You know, this has Bellevue washers in it, so yeah, it's possible. Honestly though, I'm not gonna test it every time, so you know, 825, 800, I don't think that's really a deal breaker. You might be talking like 1 or 2 joules, and in the grand scheme of things, that is not anything to worry about. So Tippmann 9 CI tested at 800. This tank, this 10 CI First Strike, I just rebuilt it a couple of weeks ago, and it was 900 on the button. Now, because of the Autofire issue with the CQ, and I decided I'm gonna drop this down. So I went from the high output spring. I had a high output spring in here, no shims, was 900 PSI. So I went back to the blue spring, which is the mid pressure spring or standard pressure spring, and no shims. So let's test this one. Again, see, this one's a little more accurate. This one says 3,000, pump to 3,000, pump the same to that tank, to the Tippmann as this one. So blue spring only. So this tank is about 825 now, oddly enough. That's the first time I tested it. So you guys just saw what I saw, 825. Now what we're gonna do is put it into Frosty. 1 tank at a time, 1 mag at a time. So I got essence of saving time, I'm gonna do some editing, but I'm gonna use hybrid mag, winder delete, nothing. I'm using the standard follower and the standard spring in this. But here's the thing. I went back to my tired old ass, well, what appeared to be tired old ass, factory bolt spring. The same bolt spring that was shooting perfectly fine on 900 PSI with the version 2 bypass, which version 2 includes the orifice removal. Probably make a video just to clarify if I had to put numbers on everything. A version 1 is just going to be the straight bypass, no orifice removal. Version 2 is going to be orifice removal. And I think I might go step up to version 3, which is you're going to have to wait for. Yes, but so version 2, delete the same bolt spring that was causing me grief at 900 PSI now. I'm going to test these tanks one at a time. Now they're really close, 800, 825, and I'll just chrono a couple shots of each. I'm not going to go through the whole tank, but I will fire the whole mag for you guys, just to show that the reduced pressure, so there might be a cap on the amount of pressure reliably you can send it. And I hate to say the name, but VKS has something very similar. And it runs very well on 850. So maybe markers are just 850. Well, Umarex, yeah, it's a whole other story. But they blow O-rings too once you bump up to 1100. Some of them do, based on the color of the O-ring. Anyways, let's go with the Tippmann first. So you guys are gonna sneak how I load. Normally I don't, whatever tank I'm gonna choose stays on my CQ. So I thread on my scope ring, has my on-off attached to it. It's already preset in the angle that I have desired because you can clock this however which way you want. So normally I don't remove it completely. Once you get your tank in there, you just got to tighten there. So the scope ring that I use has a, I wouldn't call it a quick release, but it has a twist type locking device. So it's pretty straightforward to do that. You can do it toolless. You don't need anything. Most of you know M17 is almost toolless. If you got tiny little fingers, you can get those cotter pins out. It's toolless, but I use a pick for that. So I'll just connect my air here, and that's it. She's hooked up. Counter eyeballs, full mag. Once again, extra long sear spring in this guy. And we'll tilt it down just to show. Hear that sucker lock up? No balls came out. I really do love that. So I'm going to fine tune that sear spring because it was a bastard to get in there. And I think it doesn't need to be 20 mils long. It could be a little bit shorter, which make it easier to get in and la-di-da-da. 2 shots, chrono. 800 PSI as tested. (300 feet per second with a 9.9 gram. One more shot. (300), just like a Valken. So I had 19 in here. Can't count that high. What What we got? 10 left. Oh, should I try automatic fire? Last time I did this, I didn't have any cardboard shield up there, and when they hit that trap, the Kevlar doesn't drop the balls, instead they come bouncing back. So let's do a little burst fire instead. Remember, this is 800 PSI. So we'll do fun switch. Whoa! Good thing I moved out of the way of that one. Okay, no more fun switch. Just semi-auto from now on. I don't know how many shots I got left now. Let's see if we can cry on the last one. 286. That's probably still, I don't know, maybe 40 joules. Let me be clear, that's a 9 CI tank, so it is what it is, but it's tiny, so you can't expect a lot of shots out of this. This thing's a pig, you know that. Hey, look at that, man. Follower didn't come out. Mag is empty. Huh. Breech is empty. Guess I was counting after all. I have to go get those balls. Luckily I didn't lose my own balls. Let me tell you something. If you watched the last video, with a 900 it shot 306. And this is what I'm talking about, splitting hairs. And man, 6 FPS, I mean, that might be 1 or 2 joules. It's not. Now, if I was losing 25 FPS like I have with some combinations of springs I ran in here, that's a deal breaker for sure. That is not. And if that makes my marker 100% more reliable, I'm all for it. I can stand to lose 4 or 6 FPS and look back at that video. Okay, through the magic of video, the 10 CI at 825 is now installed. 9.9 gram. Oops, might not have screwed that a whole lot that time. No balls. $300. Strange that it did that. I was not expecting that. Which makes me wonder. This regulator in this Tippmann tank is Bellevue washers. Sorry, this is the FS tank. The FS tank, first strike tank, is a spring. And the Tippmann is Bellevue washers. Bellevue washers are much more stable. But could it really have made that much difference? I mean, I've shot this tank, this 10 CI tank on this marker too. So I don't have a reasonable explanation why this is only 25 PSI more than this. But that Autofire, that is not what I'm trying to get at here. I don't want that. All right, we're gonna top up this 9 CI again and send it through and see if it, I experience the same Autofire here, so. Turn my pump on, water pump on that is. Tank's hooked up. Both bleed screws are open. Oh, damn. Normally I I run ice in there, but it's pretty cool in the garage. This thing stays under 50. We're good. Sorry, back on the Tippmann 9CI, freshly pumped to 3000 as you just witnessed. Didn't change nothing on this. Same, what I thought was a tired bolt spring that seems to be working on the Tippmann tank. There it is. Looking for my, ooh, slippery. 9.9. $300. It really likes the Tippmann tank. Or does it like the type of regular it is? So, oh, I guess I should finish the mag too, so. Before I get ahead of myself. Oops. There we go. $294. $296. Remember, no more full auto in the garage, not unless I got a little a cardboard shield up there. So. Did we actually have a jam there? I don't know. We may have. This is the winderless one. Oh man, that spring feels a little weak now all of a sudden. There's a remedy for that. We'll worry about that in another video. Oh yeah, this is definitely a feed problem with this. So, again for another video, you guys, but see that? That return is not strong enough to send a ball in the breech. We got something for that. I guess, guys, the next thing I'm gonna try, I'm gonna boost the pressure in this bottle. And then we'll see if it is a pressure related. So 825, Autofire. 800, no Autofire. So I'm gonna bump this up. I think the closest I could probably get this to is 900. But I'll be damned if this thing fires fine on 900 without changing anything in the marker. This bottle's shit. But I'll reserve judgment until I actually do that test. So you're gonna have to stay tuned for the follow-up. I've said this many times before. Follow my channel. It's not, I don't preach this is the mod to have. Some of these mods have just been discovered with your help. So keep the feedback, keep the comments coming. You know, and I try to mention, and if you don't want to be mentioned by name, maybe just let me know. But I do try to drop some names when a good idea comes along, you know. So not everybody wants to have a channel. And, you know, there was a time when I thought I wouldn't be doing this either, but I have fun doing this. And I don't want to steer anybody wrong. I don't want to cause any damage to your markers. So take what I do with a grain of salt. But I show the tests, you know, some of them are failures. And this one is exactly what I'm trying to demonstrate is there's so many little things that go into these that there isn't necessarily one right answer, but my end goal here is the same. That is to make the M17, it is reliable when you're running, well, I guess 800 PSI, which appears to be the issue now, or the resolution now. But this is bypass, so 40 joules on 800 PSI with this little stubby 8-inch barrel, capable of fully automatic. That's pretty cool in my books. So, gonna keep plugging away. Watch for follow-ups. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. You guys, this mag completely malfunctioned. No fault of the CQ. I'm not even sure what happened inside here, but it is not right. That spring did not come back. This follower is just like sideways in there. Yeah, you can see that? The spring got hung up in there somewhere. We're gonna have to open that up and look. Never had that problem on this, but I'm running a different follower on this one, so I don't know, guys. But yeah, that's a fail. Definitely a fail. But I don't know until I get in there what exactly is going on there. But the spring did not. So there's no whiner here. This spring should not have gotten hung up, but it is hung up because that follower is just loose in there. Disappointing because I want to finish on a strong note, but we'll get her next time, guys. Okay, I only got 1,000 PSI left. Whoops, there's still ball in the breach here. But I'm going to run the mil-sig mag on the same tank just to show that there's no funny business going on there. That's more like it. So, that's an issue. We're going to have to deal with that. No issue. See you guys next time.